Hey there, you're just in time for Dreamcatcher, the program where you can find peace through understanding your dreams and visions. I'm Robin Hardin. Come along with me to Elkton, Kentucky. We're going to visit with Amber, who is riding the rapids on a canoe in her first dream. And in another dream, she is on another body of water with some crazy things going on. And also later in the program, Ted receives messages in two separate dreams. The messages come from loved ones who have passed away years ago, and the dreams were separated by decades.
Well, I had a dream yesterday, actually, where I was, I guess, I thought I was in a river at first, and there was this lady who, somebody was filming her, and I thought it was a river because it was really shallow and there were rocks under her feet, and she was wearing a really white dress all the way down to her ankles. And she was standing in the water, and she was like telling the people on the camera, like, now watch this, and she ducked her dress down into the water, and she came back up, and she's like, there's no dirt, nothing. And she was like, just a month ago it would have been brown. And she said, but the hurricane washed coal into the lake and it purified it, and now there's like no dirt in the water. And then I was looking around, and I just see these huge rock cliffs, and they're really smooth and flat. And then next thing I know, I'm on this swing going back and forth over the water, swinging, and I realized it's actually a lake and not a river like I thought it was originally. And like wide, really wide across the river, across this lake. I was just going back and forth, and I was thinking about diving in, and I was like, I don't know if that's appropriate for me to dive into this water, and I don't know if like I'll get in trouble by the authorities, and I don't know if we're supposed to be swimming. And I had all these thoughts going through my mind about it. And then next thing I know, I just see like a ski lift, and there was just the ski lift was going across the lake, and there were people on the ski lift. And I decide I'm just gonna stop, and the swing just stopped right in front of the ski lift so I could look at the people. And I just saw a boy and a girl on the ski lift as they were going across the water, and it was like I was right there, and they would have gone directly into me, but I felt like they would have gone through me. And then I woke up.
Do you know this woman, or do you believe she's
I don't know her.
probably?
No.
I believe she's was a prophetess or a heavenly being that was sent to tell people that. And we know in the Bible, angels are men. I know that I'm not saying that, but in dreams, God can use what He wants to. And I believe she might have represent wisdom, because wisdom is a woman in the Bible. She's typically an older woman because she was here from the beginning of time. But this was a messenger from the Lord to let people know it's safe to come in, get in the water. The water is almost always the Holy Spirit in the Word. And she's saying it's purified. He's come, He's purified this. Come in. Remember the scripture, and the angel touched the water, and that's when you could be healed. If you got in when the angel was stirring the water. And so this person is saying, come in. And she's in white. White is righteousness. She's clothed in righteousness. She may represent someone in particular in your life, a spiritual mother or a pastor or some kind of spiritual leader that's encouraging you, come in, come deeper. Then you're swinging up. You realize later that it's a lake. The river goes to the ocean. The lake stays contained. So the first part is a river, which is talking a more broad sense. This is to all believers. Come in and get in the water. The lake is more for you and your church family or whatever your circle of influence is. And you're having fun, you're swinging, but there's a little bit of, I don't know if the authorities, I want to get in deeper, but will the authorities let me? and which is good in the fact that you understand authority and you respect authority, but the authority has already said, come in, don't be afraid. And so what the Lord is saying to you, you can have fun, you can enjoy him, you can hang it over, but he wanted you in. You were swinging above it, you weren't going in, and he's calling you deeper. He wants you to come deeper. He wants you to get wet. He wants you to get wet, Amber, in the Holy Spirit. And I don't know where you attend church. If you attend a denomination where they don't believe in the Holy Spirit, then you need to surround yourself with people who do. Like, I know this is a safe place. This is Shepherd's House of Praise and Worship. We know that it is a safe place for the Holy Spirit. It's a safe place to receive a word of prophecy, to share a word of prophecy. No one's asking you to leave a church that you go to. But in addition to, if you're in a denomination, especially who doesn't understand that, you need to make sure that you're not avoiding the assembling of yourselves with other like believers, because iron sharpens iron, and he wants you deeper so that you can, there's so much more. There's so much more. And unfortunately, we have brothers and sisters in the Lord who just don't know that. That is not keeping them out of heaven, but they're just swinging above it. If they would just let go and jump in the water. And that's what he's asking you to do too. So that's a good, exciting dream.
Yeah. So what about the ski ramp part?
The ski ramp is the world, because it is more mechanical, where you're just on something more simple. The Holy Spirit is so simple. We try to make it crazy. It's not. It's just he's so simple. And the other one is the mechanical. It's the world, and they weren't even aware of you, because they were there in the physical. They're living in a physical life where you are living in a spiritual life. So they would have gone through you, or you felt like they would have, because you are spirit in this dream. You're at a different level, a different plane than they are.
That makes sense.
Love's Way Church.
And we walk through those doors, and it's just the spirit and the love. It's just tremendous.
Join Pastor Johan at Love's Way Church, Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Live life Love's Way.
Yeah, my grandparents had passed. It was a few years after they passed. And I was walking around in this abandoned factory, and there was paint cans laying around, and I looked back around the back wall, and I see my grandparents sitting there. And they said to me, "Not yet, your time is not yet."
They were right.
And it just ended.
Your grandparents in this dream are words of wisdom. They're words of importance that the Lord is saying to you, your time isn't ended, which means that there will be a time when it is, but God has something for you to do. We are to tarry in between. And they were probably very influential in your life, and that's why God would use them to tell you this. And it's also, when you think of that, it's usually one grandparent, which was interesting. Seldom does someone have both grandparents come to them in a dream. So what is it in their life that they did, or maybe they were called to do, whether they walked in it or not? There's something that they did that you have inherited, and he wants you to walk in that while you're here before they move on. Like if they were very giving, or if they were maybe they were business people, whatever. There was some kind of gifting or an anointing that was theirs that they've imparted to you, and you are to do that until he comes. Colors have significance in dreams, and you have a dream with paint cans that are paint cans of color, and usually people dream of a house, which is who they are. But this factory could have represented your life at the time as well. And there, it's empty, and so you can kind of do, it's kind of like a clean, fresh start. Let's put something in this factory and get it going, because your time was not up, and it's not. If you're still here, he still has something for you to do. I feel like this is more about you understanding that there's a real call and purpose on your life, rather than your time meaning death. Your time your call was not ready yet, but from 40 years it probably is. That he has something for you to do. And ask him what is it that Grandma and Granddaddy did or was placed in their life, something that you're supposed to pick up that mantle and walk with it, and fill that factory up.
My name is Tiffany, and I just wanted to say a little something about the Dreamcatcher Catch Your Dream Journal. Now, before this book, I did used to dream, but it was probably maybe like one dream a week, like one good dream a week that had like substance in it. Well, after I got this book, I was dreaming every single night. This book filled up with my dreams within 3 months, and I was in need of another book. And so I said to Miss Robin, I said, it's like your books are like a dream catalyst that enables you to just dream more and hear more from the Lord. Now, I needed another book, so I got 2 so that I can be prepared. I should probably get 3. But it's a great book, and you should make sure that you get one.
Okay, I had a dream that my son and me were walking in the woods, and there was a creek, and it was a big puddle of water, and I could see these snakes. And I knew that one wasn't venomous, and I knew that one was. And I remember we were with somebody else, but I can't remember who she was. And he grabbed one of the snakes and he killed it. But then he got bit by the poisonous snake. He killed the non-venomous snake, but got bit by the poisonous snake. And the other girl got bit too, but I didn't. And I remember us having to be rushed to go to the hospital, and that's all I remember.
Kaylin, thank you for sending me this dream selfie. I know it's kind of disturbing, but you and your son are walking through the woods in the dream, and that's just life. And because trees many times are life in the dream, and plants, and there's a lot going on in the woods, a lot of wonderful things and a lot of things that aren't quite as wonderful as the snakes in this dream. In the dream, your son was able to kill one of the snakes, but then a poisonous one bit him and the other person in the dream as well. These are warning dreams that in life there are snakes, attacks of the enemy. And even though some of the non-poisonous ones he can kill or he can get around, there's the big ones that are out there. And that's really just the Lord showing you warnings that the devil wants to hurt you, hurt your son, hurt those around you. And while we can miss some of them and dodge some of the snakes and some of the attacks, without the Lord, we are really in danger. And so make sure that you and your son are walking a life with the Lord, so when he does get bit, symbolically, by the poisonous snake, that he can call on the Lord, because the enemy is out. He's targeted your son and this other person in your dream. So make sure you cover them in prayer, and that their decisions are the good ones, because attacks will come. But there is help. In the dream, the help was the hospital, but in real life, the help is the Lord. So just keep praying covering and protection over your son in particular, and make sure that you teach him the way that he needs to go.
A few years ago, I had this dream that I was on a canoe. I think it was a canoe, but anyhow, and I was going down this river, and as I was going down the river, I'd just have flashes of rapids out of nowhere, and it was just for a split second, and then it was gone. And then my brother and sister-in-law and their child at the time, who was a year old, just fell out of nowhere into the boat. And I was like, you guys can't be here. Like, there's about to be rapids ahead. Like, I knew it was coming. And I was kind of freaking out about it. But as we got closer to the rapids, I was like really freaking out. And then this dock appeared out of nowhere. And we landed right on the dock and were able to get out, and we kind of went our separate ways. And then I found myself walking down this beach, and there was like a dumpster there, and it was just kind of out of place. And I was like, what's that doing in this beautiful place? And then I just kept walking, and next thing I know, I look up at the sky, and there's like these clouds, like, but they're people. They're like bodies floating in the sky, but they're kind of cartoon looking. But at the same time, they take on the color of like the sunset, when it's like orange and pink and colors like that. And I'm just standing there staring at it, and I just remembered another part. My brother and sister-in-law came back, and they're like on their phones, and I go, hey, Alan, which is my brother's name, and I was like, do you see that too? And he's like, yeah, I see that. And I was like, that's weird. And then I woke up.
Is your brother older than you? It's, I figured he was, because you're so young, but and he's married obviously with a child, but God is wanting to use you to help lead them. You're in the river, you're just going through life. That's a vehicle again. But it's on the water, so it's floating on the Holy Spirit, and He's showing you flashes of what's to come. That's a prophetic gift. I don't know if you realize you have a prophetic gift, but He just confirmed that in this dream, that you have prophetic gifts, and you see what's coming. And then your brother is dropped into, and his family's dropped into your boat. You're the captain of that boat. And he dropped them in for you to help carry them to safety. And even though you were concerned for their safety, because the rapids that are coming, every time there was a dock, there was something God provided. He gave that ram in the thicket for you. Then when it changes and you're walking along a beach, and then there's this dumpster, that's kind of showing a discernment that you have, that other people are on the beach and they're just enjoying the beauty and they just see the beach. But you notice this dumpster, and it obviously bothered you enough that you're like, what is this? You're going to see the unclean, and you're going to know, which is good because that's a discerning of spirit. And you're going to recognize the unclean. So if you're sitting in a restaurant and someone, that's unclean or unholy sits near you, you're going to know. You're going to recognize and see it before others do. Even the people in the cloud, which were the signs in the heaven, which the Lord tells us there will be, you saw it first, and your brother and them were just going along as the days of Noah, they're doing what they're doing. And once you pointed it out, he saw it. But so there's a couple times the Lord has told you in this dream that you are to be, even though he's older, the one to kind of point him. You pointed him to the heavens, and you saved him in the boat. So don't allow our culture to tell you because he's older that you can't lead and you can't help and you can't point him in the way, because God determines who does that. And he's clearly telling you this in this dream.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Good.
Well, my grandmother was a person that really loved the Lord. My grandfather wasn't really that much, but it was my grandmother that made a big influence in my life, and my mother did also. And I had another dream after that.
Was that your mother's mother in the dream? Yeah.
Yes.
That was the generational.
And this is pretty close to 30 years ago. I don't have dreams very often.
Apparently. Well, you got enough. You probably have enough time with 2 or 3 more.
It was strange for me because My father had passed a few years before. And after my father died, my mother relied on me for a lot of things, more than my other brothers and sisters, which I have 6 others besides me.
Are you the oldest?
No.
Okay.
I'm the middle. But in this dream, I was standing before this bus, and the door of the bus was open, and my father was standing on the bottom step of the bus. And all he said to me was these words, "Ted, take care of your mom." And then the bus door closed, and it went on by, and the dream ended.
You have a special relationship with your mother, and it's that's why I asked if you were the oldest, because typically the oldest son is who, or daughter, is who mom relies on. But she chose you for a reason, and there was something special that you and your mom had, and you know, but probably both of you just thought, well, the other ones are working and the other ones are too young, and he's the one in the middle. There are no happenstances with God. He had your birth order. He knew where you were going to fall in line. He knew all that. And so there was a reason, and it was your mother's mother in the first dream. So this is a generational thing that's coming through your mother's bloodline. And even your father, when you said that, it reminded me of Jesus saying to John, "Behold your mother." I mean, what a mandate for you to behold your mother and to care for her and honor her. And one way of honoring her is recognizing what is that generational blessing or calling that comes through my mother, through her mother, in these 2 dreams that God is wanting me to do.
Well,
Is your mother still alive?
No.
Okay.
After, well, the Lord told me when my mother was still alive that my job was to outserve my mother, which I tried. I don't know if I accomplished that or not, but with His help, I know I got weary, I got tired, and the Lord brought me some good help. She's sitting right there. And she helped me with some of the things at Mom's house. Mom loved her dearly. And she was a good thing for me. And after Mom passed, the Lord woke me up at 3 a.m. in the morning. And He said that, get ready. He said, I'm sending you to Tennessee. Because we were living in Ohio at the time. And I told my pastor back up in Ohio about it, and my pastor wanted the Lord to confirm it. So I went back to the Lord again in prayer, and a week later, same thing. So I ended up here, and in Clarksville. And I met some very nice friends, like Sandy and Dave, and Sandy and Lee. And to this day yet, the Lord sent me to Discover Life Church. And what I'm doing there yet, to this day, I still don't know what my purpose is yet. But the Lord brought another person into my life, Pastor Lockwood. But I feel that I'm connected to him in some way, somehow, but I don't know what it is. I prayed about it, but there's no answer.
Well, at the very least, you lift him in prayer, because pastors are in such need of prayer. You know, we see them, and like, I think everyone in my church loves my pastor, pastors committing suicide, pastors are leaving the church, the pastors are really under attack.
Oh, yeah.
And at the very least, you intercede and you pray for them. And sometimes just a phone call to say, hey, I'm praying for you. Just to know someone's praying for you, because you don't know what all they face. I sit on the board at church. I had no idea. I was just this innocent thing going to church, thought we all loved each other, you know. That's not necessarily the case. And so you just cover him and
I've prayed for him, and I prayed for Pastor Brian. I prayed for both of them. So what direction the Lord is sending me, I'm not sure yet, but he'll let me know when the time comes.
Well, you said yourself, I met some good friends, and I met some good friends, and I met some good friends, and being a good friend is a huge call. And you don't know how your friendship is helping them and supporting them and blessing them. You don't know. And you've made your mama proud. You've helped your mom. You have such a serving heart that you probably don't know. You probably don't even want me hear me say that, because you have a humble spirit, but you are a servant. And Jesus was a servant leader. And if we can't serve, we can't lead. And I think you're a bigger blessing to your friends and your friends and your friends than you probably have any idea. And I believe part of that at least comes from Mama and from her family. The compassion of Christ is a generational blessing. Not everyone's compassionate. Not everyone is loyal. These are qualities that your mom and your grandmother had.
Well, I was closer to my mother's grandparents than I was my father's, because I was kind of abused by my father's grandparents. But I was loved a lot by my grandmother on my mom's side. And yeah, she was a big influence and a lot of love. And I couldn't have a better grandmother.
And see, and now you're doing the same with them. You're doing the same thing.
I've been coming here for years, and I just want to thank you, Jesus, for Joseph's Warehouse. Y'all have been a blessing to me and a lot of more people. And from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you very much for everything y'all have done. Y'all pray with us. Y'all let the Lord touch us. And for that, I am very, very grateful.
Your love offering to Joseph Storehouse will feed many families.
Next time on Dreamcatcher, my studio guest, Vanessa, sometimes dreams in story form, but other times her dreams are just images that flash before her. Perhaps God is talking to you in long story form dreams, but maybe flashes. Learn what it is He's saying to you. Catch Dreamcatcher next time right here and catch your dreams.